What's up YouTube? My name is Mario. I am the creator of Knotted Reviews, and yeah, this is our new channel, so thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this one goes smoothly and isn't too rough, but we would definitely appreciate all the feedback in the comments. So if this is something you guys like, if it's something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and the notification bell. Before we kind of get into all the details though, the pros and the cons, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little video montage for you all, give you guys a little closer look at the shoe in all of its glory. So let's go ahead and get to that one. Welcome back guys, hope you enjoyed the little video montage. Had a lot of fun filming that. It was my first time using like a slider and actually really just kind of taking pictures of shoes, so hopefully it turned out alright. Anyway, before we jump into the shoes, I did want to give you guys a little bit of information regarding the channel and myself. So I think as I previously mentioned, my name is Mario. I'm a recently graduated law student. And now am a lawyer. So I work for a firm in Portland, Oregon, as you can see from the rainy background, and I do litigation. So I spend a great deal of time in dress shoes, and so aside from just having to wear them for work, I just like them. I've always been passionate about dress shoes, enjoyed kind of searching for dress shoes and gaining knowledge and kind of caring for them and, you know, all the above. So it's something I like, but it's not my occupation. And I think that's really what I want these videos to be about, is just the perspective of someone outside the industry who loves shoes, wears shoes, and is excited about shoes and wants to kind of pass all that information on to you guys. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not, you know, I try my best not to be biased towards certain brands or things like that. I understand a lot of this can be subjective, but I'm going to do my best just to give you guys some information so that you can kind of go out and make a purchase for yourself and be happy with it, because ultimately it's an expensive hobby, an expensive passion, and you want to make sure what you're buying will make you happy. You know, not that buying things make you happy, but what you buy you'll be satisfied with, and that, you know, you're not going to be putting your hard-earned cash towards something that is not the quality you were expecting. So anyway, after that little ramble, I think it's probably best we get into the shoe review. So thank you if you're still sticking around. So these are Carmina. They're Carmina Monk Straps in black on the Inca last. According to Carmina, this last is supposed to be a little longer, a little classier, a little sexier. You know, the grounded toe. It's mainly for, like, they say, like more special shoes. And to me, these were. I fell in love with monk straps basically from the minute I saw them. And then the idea of having black cap-toed monks was like very cool and very high on the list. So saved up enough money, made it happen, and was very excited when they arrived. They came in this box here, which hopefully this shows up on camera all right. It's a very hard box, nice little kind of red interior, just a little detail. They came with a foam bottom and a nice piece of foam kind of splitting the shoes. The shoes were, I believe, in the red bags as well. The bags being just a very nice touch by Carmina, something I actually utilize a lot, particularly with work and traveling. So when I first pulled them out, I was very impressed with the quality and just the initial, kind of like the look of the shoe. Whenever you order something online, you know, you never really know what it's going to look like and what it's going to look like in person. And so I was a little bit nervous, but when they showed up, I was very satisfied with the shape of the last. I just love the toe in particular, and then also I would say like the elegance of the back end of the shoe being not a full 360-degree welt. You get kind of a closeness between the heel and the upper leather that I think just is a very good look. And again, that is perhaps a little bit of subjectivity, but that's what I think. Yeah, so when I first pulled the shoe out, I noticed right away that the leather was quite stiff, and that there was no real, you know, noticeable imperfections that I could really see. The stitching was quite tight. The welt, I thought, was well spaced. There was a little bit of stitching you could see kind of in the corner where clearly like the welt had ended. I think that is pretty common. It was something I noticed, but again, it's not my first pair of dress shoes, and I've seen it on a lot in stores as well as other brands that I have. But I do think Carmina does a pretty good job of cleaning that up. You're still going to see kind of where it ends, but to me it's not a big deal, and you really will never see it when they're on your feet and no one else will see it. Being monk straps, I did notice that the leather is a little bit, not rough, but kind of has some creasy lines in it on the back side of the strap, or I guess not the back side, not like underneath the strap, but on this portion, not the buckle side. This is my first pair of monks, and I don't know how common this is, but I would assume it's quite common. Because this piece of leather is going back and forth and bending, you're going to get creasing, and it was there from the very beginning. So I think that is quite common, and I think it's just a product of the shoe and its design. I don't think that is something that, you know, Carmina missed, or it's like an imperfection in the shoe. But it was something I noticed, and it's, you know, I pulled out the shoes and was like, oh, I guess that's kind of how these look. So, you know, maybe that is the case, maybe it's not. In the comments, if you guys have gotten monks that have never developed this, let me know. I would be surprised, but it's quite possible. So that was something I noticed. But yeah, no stitching kind of was flared up or anything like that. No imperfections in the leather other than what I noted there. Yeah, everything was just of the toppest quality, or at least the highest that I had seen to date in a pair of shoes that I personally owned. One thing I did notice when putting them on for the first time, and let's see if I can guess which one of these it is, there was a little bit of, dare I say, like discoloration, or yes, it's here. On this flap, or strap, or whatever you want to call it, you have the purple, and then the black on this side, and then kind of a black siding as well. Right here, and I will also have a picture of it for you guys, it seems like they missed a spot, or the purple leather did not kind of completely go over the black leather, so you get a little bit of tan seeping through right there. It's very minimal, it's very small. I would not expect them to kind of see that and think they need to redo the piece, but it was something I noticed, and it's the only area on the shoe where there's, I guess you could say, like a visible imperfection. So that is something to note. It's not visible when the shoe is on by any means. And to me, it wasn't a deal breaker or anything that serious, but it is something I figured I'd point out to you guys. Inside the shoe itself, everything looked very beautiful from day one. You have like the purple leather on the inside, which of course you probably won't be able to see in this video, but I have plenty of pictures. And I thought that was quite a nice touch. I don't think I knew that it was going to look like that. I don't believe the pictures showed that. It's quite possible they did, but when I ordered it, I was a little surprised in a good way. Purple is one of my favorite colors. So yeah, it's just this deep kind of purple leather on the inside, which I think goes very nicely with the black on the outside. And you're looking at full leather on the inside, of course, at this price point. And yeah, everything just looked good inside, which, you know, you should expect, but I have seen shoes where it seems like they have, you know, focused on the quality on the outside, but have seemed to miss quality on the inside, and Carmina with these monk straps did not. So I think that is a total plus. So those were kind of my initial impressions when I first got the shoe. Now, the break-in process was not bad. Some discomfort is to be expected. I mean, you're looking at a high quality dress shoe with stiff leather, cork bottom, but you know, it still takes a little while to kind of get that to be a little more flexible and kind of form to your foot. I didn't have too many issues with any like side blisters. There's a little bit of blistering on the back of my heel, but my foot does fit in quite nicely. They weren't overly tight and weren't overly loose. The sole is probably the stiffest part, and took a little while to get used to. Just not a lot of flex, yeah, I think that was just something that took a couple of weeks for my foot to kind of get used to, and you know, now I wear them all day, no issues, and you know, dancing them at weddings and all that. So I haven't had any long-term issues with breaking the shoe in, but like most kind of higher quality shoes, the break-in process is not always the best. But you kind of you get the benefit of the shoe just being of a higher quality and lasting longer, and ultimately getting, I think, more comfortable than a shoe that may be initially nice and easy to break in. These do eventually kind of form to your feet, and yeah, they feel quite nice after you get through that break-in process. Over time, the shoes have gotten quite a bit of wear. Having them for a year and a half and wearing them about, on average, probably 3 times a week, I would say they've definitely seen a lot of action. It's all been dry weather. When I was down in Southern California for school, a lot of it was kind of campus walking, and when I was working at the courthouse down in Southern California, a lot of it was walking on carpet or marble, with a little bit of walking in between the courthouse and the parking garage, but just not any rain that I can recall. Now that I'm back in Portland, you can best believe these will see a little bit of rain action. I'm going to do my best to keep them from getting drenched. I'm not going to be jumping around in any puddles, but it's going to rain, so I can't just stop wearing the shoes. So I'll kind of keep you guys updated if anything was to change regarding my opinion once they start seeing some contact with the wet, but I don't suspect there will be any issues. So just some kind of food for thought there. Yeah, everything is kind of worn in quite nicely. The sole's held up extremely well. The back, I'd say, is probably the most surprising. So this rubber piece right here, which just goes right across the heel right there. I have always worn that away on a shoe pretty quickly. And in particular, I wear it away unevenly. So it always, on this right side, seems to wear down quicker. I don't think I walk weird, but I must have a little bit of a slide or something. So it always wears down a little quicker on the right side. With these, that has not been the case at all, actually. As you can see, hopefully, it is almost completely even and still very much there. I have no idea what kind of rubber they're using here or how they've been able to do this, but this is by far the best I've seen on any of my dress shoes. So this was surprising, and again, it's not like the end of the world if this wears down quicker, and it's not going to make you go out and buy the shoe because it doesn't. But I do think that is a good indication of the quality of the material they're using. But yeah, everything is held up well. There's no kind of anything weird going on this, the sole, and yeah, everything is looking good there. The leather itself has maintained very well. I always put shoe trees in the shoes. I recondition the leather. I wax them, etc. So they are taken good care of. But yeah, no concerns have really arisen. No lasting concerns. I would say early on, one of the things that I noticed was the shoes did crease a little bit pretty early on in the kind of life of the shoe, and so that initially I was a little concerned. You may see it right here. Now every shoe is going to crease. It's expected. It's going to happen. There's not a lot you can do about it. It's more about controlling how much it creases. So to have it crease early was initially kind of like, whoa, I just spent $500 on these shoes and I'm already seeing creases. But I will say this, it never got any worse. So there was a little bit of a crease and then the creases stayed the same. And that has not been my case with other shoes that have started to crease. When they crease, it's like no stopping it, and it just continues to crease and crease and crease, and the leather gets worse no matter kind of what you do. So it sounds like a negative, and it was a negative, I would say. I mean, it did crease quickly, but at the end of the day, I kind of look at it as a positive as well, where it's really kind of controlled itself, and the shoes look great. I mean, a year and a half in of pretty continual wear, and to me they look almost like they did on the day I bought them, minus the bottom, of course. So that is something to note, but positive or negative, I don't know, kind of take it how you will. The buckles have held up really great. One of the things I was nervous about when buying monks, and this just comes from my experience, is I thought with the buckles over laces, like you're gonna get kind of quicker wear, and bending of the leather would cause the buckles, to fall apart, I guess. So that was a concern, probably coming from inexperience more than anything else. And it just hasn't been the case with these. Let's see if I can do this on camera and get these to come off. They've held up very well. The holes have not expanded and gotten bigger from where they've kind of stayed the same size. You get the kind of waviness, which is to be expected, as they're held in that position for extended periods of time. But yeah, the leather is not like broken down. It is creased, and it's it looks like it's been used, but it's in very good shape. The stitching has not come apart. Yeah, I'm just very pleased with it. I can't really say enough about that. It feels like it's going to last the lifetime of the shoe at this point, and yeah, just very, very happy with how that all turned out. Let's see, anything else here? Everything is held up well. The kind of the leather between the tongue portion and here has stayed nice. No kind of tearing or stitching coming out there. Yeah, everything along the flap has just been perfect, and that is the piece that's being moved the most often on the shoe, so of course it's going to be a concern, but everything looks good. Let's see if I can do this on camera again without screwing it up. So yeah, those are kind of my initial thoughts on how the shoe is held up. Nothing really more to say about that. There hasn't been any other real concerns developing, though again, if something were to, I would of course update this video. So I guess that kind of leaves us at, my final thoughts. The shoe is expensive. I think that it's a con. It's an expensive shoe to purchase. You're looking at plus $500. If you want to go, the Cordovan, you're looking at, I think probably in the 700 range. The Inca Last is more expensive than the Rain or the Forest, I believe. And that is something that you have to consider. If you have the money to do it, I do think they're a quality investment. They're going to last you a long time, from what I can tell thus far. They're a comfortable shoe for being as kind of tough and durable feeling as they are. They're gonna get looks. It's a classy shoe. It's a good looking shoe. It's a versatile shoe. I've worn this, with different shoots. I've worn it with suits. I've worn it with suits. I've worn it with jeans. And everything kind of in between. It's just I think it's a good shoe in the kind of medium range. And if you have the money, I don't think you can go wrong with purchasing them. Again, things that they'll consider are, is this going to be your first shoe? I don't know. That's a whole kind of other question. The Monk is a great shoe. Maybe you want to start with something like just an Oxford. But I do think that if you're in the market for monks, the Carmina on the Inca Last is definitely one you should consider. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you taking the time. And again, this is the first one, so if you have any sort of feedback or anything you wish to ask or say in the comments, please do. We're kind of going forward. We have a lot more shoes to review, and so again, if this is something you like, please subscribe and let me know if there's some kind of shoe you're looking at, and we'll try to get a review of them. So thank you again, and see you on the next one.